Ryan Fritz here with Bray Wyatt in Tampa as he gets set for the Battleground event coming up on Sunday here in Tampa. He'll be taking on Chris Jericho. Kind of a homecoming for you a little bit because you grew up not too far away from here in Brooksville, right?
Well, yeah. I've been all around the world and I've seen a lot of things. And the real homecoming is because of where I came from as a performer. And that's NXT and right around the corner here at FCW, you know, where I came from, where I was made. And it wasn't too long ago, about a year ago actually, I think May of last year, I faced Chris Jericho for the first time. He came to NXT and he took on a young up-and-coming Bray Wyatt, and he beat me. And it's a very glorifying feeling to know that here we are about a year later and we're headed into Battleground, and I'm facing Chris Jericho again, but not as an up-and-comer as Chris Jericho's equal, I would say.
What was it like when you got the news that Chris was coming back to the company and you were going to get an opportunity to work with him again?
Well, I didn't hear anything like that. It just kind of happened, you know. Chris was there, and so were we, and it was kind of just made to happen, you know. Chris Jericho and Bray Wyatt is something that will probably go on back and forth for several years here and there, you know. Something exciting for the fans, two charismatic opposites, you know, kind of going to battle, going to war. So I think it's real cool for the fans, something cool for the fans to see. And it's also something that's rewarding for me as well, you know. There's no better way of getting another feather in my cap, you know, tapping off against a six-time world champion like Chris Jericho. So I look forward to it.
It was about a year ago when the Wyatt family debuted on Raw. What's this past year been like for you?
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind. It's I always expected to be successful. You know, I don't remember being a child and planning on doing anything but what I'm doing right now. You know, I was kind of born to do this. And this past year, you know, it's been rewarding, and you know, I like the grind of things. I like to keep my ear to the ground and just keep moving forward. And yeah, it's been crazy, but I expect it to get much crazier, you know, as it continues my career and our growth, you know, as a unit especially.
You're a third-generation wrestler. What was it like growing up in that family with you know, wrestling around you all the time and your family immediately in it?
You know, it's very competitive, you know. It's like I never looked at myself as I don't want to be this guy, I don't want to be that guy. I always knew, you know, there was something weird, something strange, special about me. Special is probably the best way to put it. It was always expected that one day I would get into this, you know. And like I said before, I always knew. I just knew. And growing up and seeing all that, I mean, it probably sounds bizarre to a lot of other people outside, but to me, it was just normal, you know, it's just life.
What drew you to it so much that when you saw your family do it or others, you know, in the business, what drew you to it? What interested you the most? What made you think this is something that I want to do?
I don't even know what that is, honestly. It is almost as if it was ingrained, you know, previous to me being born. It's it's almost like I don't know, like I was preordained, like I was supposed to. I never thought of it as maybe or what if. It was always like sooner or later, you know. So, you know, that's just the way it was in my head since I was a little boy.
I know originally you had been you had a short run in WWE, part of Nexus, and then you had left the company or left WWE. And I had heard a story that you had told people at the time, "I'll be back. I'm not going anywhere. I will be back here shortly." Did that happen, and what gave you the confidence to say that at that time?
Whatever that person was, Husky Harris, that ain't me. It never was. And I may have said that. I may not have. I don't know. I don't recall. But I wanted a chance to show everyone who I really was. And I'm not my father. I'm not my grandfather, my uncles, or my brother even. I am what I am. And they're hardly even family to me, you know? When you look at it in retrospect, as the person I am and who they are, you know, it's not, we're not even similar, you know? And so whoever that person was a few years ago, it was a shell of a man that never really existed at all.
You know, people talk about the best superstars in WWE are the ones that are most like themselves. It's just kind of amplified. Is that the way you feel it is for you?
Right, yeah, 100%. You know, I couldn't create something if I didn't feel it. When I say things and when I speak on television, I'm not making stuff up. I'm not like sitting in the back with a notepad going, maybe this will make him think I'm crazy. That's how I really am, you know. My views on this and that, which I don't really want to delve into, you know, but my views are that of the real me, you know. So there is no character. I think that's the biggest mistake people think when they approach me is they think, oh, you're some character, you know. I love the character you play, but you don't really know. I am.
Was it difficult when you said, this is who I am, this is how I want to be, even when I'm performing? Was that difficult to convince people to do that? Or they say, you know what, we like that, we like the energy you have behind it, go with it?
I never told anyone. There was a dark period of time somewhere in the middle there where I got sick of being asked, being told who to be. And it was like something went off in me, and I just said, all right, you want to see? I'll show you. And it just happened. It was never like, there was never anyone telling me, well, what if you did this? Or what if you did this? I didn't give them that chance. I just did it on my own.
When did you know this is going to work?
Always. Always. I didn't, sometimes you just become so obsessed with things that you don't even care about what everyone else thinks about it. And that was the case with me. Is I became so obsessed with not being rich and not being successful, but just being what I wanted to portray. And that's where I came from. You know, that's what it turned into, and that's what it still is today. It's just I don't look at myself as some guy that plays another person. It's an obsession for me, you know, and the cause and all the beliefs and things that I always preach and talk about, they're all real. It's not fabrication. It's real.
We always hear so much detail when you are talking to the audience, right, and you talk about this being so real. How much are you always thinking about this? How much is it always on your mind and goes into what you say when we get to hear you on, where it's Raw or SmackDown or another WWE event?
What you mean? Like
how detailed it is when you're talking to the crowd, how, you know, because it's so unique, it's so much different from everybody else.
Yeah, it's not like I said, it's not me sitting there with a pen and a paper. It's not somebody handing me something and saying, read this. It's, I get out there and I start thinking about something. I'm telling them about this, but as soon as I start telling them about this, my mind goes off on a tangent. That's probably why I get so long-winded sometimes, because I just start going and I start carrying, and what happens is, like, the passion that's inside of me for what I'm speaking about, it just kind of filters through and leaks out into whatever I'm saying, and that's where it comes from. You know, it's real. Just like I said, everything is all real.
I was going to say, and the amount of details that goes into everything, in the way that you dress, the way that you talk, the way that even Rowan and Harper are out there with you, even the entrance and everything. How much of that was you, and how much of that was somebody else giving, you know, some help?
No help.
It's all you.
And that's the truth, you know. I didn't need any help, you know. I had been there like a lot of people don't even know, but the Shield was a year after the Wyatts had already been there. You know, we were battle tested, and we had already been there, done that. By the time we got to the roster, we were new for some of the WWE audience, but I think that's where some of our popularity came from, because we didn't care. You know, we were already battle tested. We weren't brand new guys walking in. Oh no, oh no, oh no. We were ready to kick the door open and take, because and that's, like I was saying, where our popularity probably come from, because the NXT faithful, you know, the people that have been watching us and knew us for a long time already, when we arrived on the scene, even seeing the videos, the vignettes and things, they already knew what we do, and they already knew what we are. So the WWE fans that hadn't seen us before are, oh, cautious, but the NXT guys are going, watch this. And that's what it is, a car crash. You can't look away.
You mentioned those videos even before you debuted, and that was something that, is that something that, you know, we saw the camera work and everything on was so different, because it looked like somebody just grabbed the camera and just went out and shot a bunch of different things.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't, there was no $500,000 camera crew coming out and shooting us. It was that. It was a camera on a stick, and I stood in the woods and I said whatever came to my mind, and I stood there for a long time, and I just poured everything out into it, and that's what ended up on television. It wasn't and if you could see what that monologue was, it was an hour of me just saying things, and they take little bits and pieces out of context here, out of context there, but the actual piece, you know, is an hour long of me just speaking my mind.
What's it like for you now when you come out, the audience knows you so well, the reaction you get, and how unique the entrance is now with the lights going out, everybody holding up their phones?
I like to call them fireflies, and that's the first time I've said it, but that's what they remind me of, the fireflies. It's almost an ode to, you look at yourself like a leader, and you walk out and you see people following, people understanding you, and people giving you respect as a performer, and letting you know just little things like that are the type of things that keep you going every day, fire you up. You know, they hold those phones up or whatever those lights are, and it kind of lets me know, thank you, you know, thank you.
What was that like for you at WrestleMania? Not only John Cena, the first time you're at WrestleMania, but that entrance that you got, even done even bigger with the live band playing right there?
Yeah, you can't really put something like that into words, I don't even think. It was a euphoric experience. It was almost, I almost don't even have a memory of it. It was just like a sensation, walking out and feeling that, 80,000 people or however many people it was a wonderful feeling. And that was the first time I met the guys in the band, the Crozer and all those dudes. And it was, man, it was just wild.
Last thing, what's it like for you now going forward, you know, and expectations, because obviously it becomes such a big deal, and the expectations that are on you, do you feel that, and how do you deal with it?
I don't really care what people think, you know. People say this and people say that, and I'm just gonna keep being Bray. I don't need anyone, like I said, to tell me who to be or how to act. I just write my own book, you know. No one can tell me what to do or where to go. I am, you know.
It's Bray Wyatt taking on Chris Jericho coming up Sunday on Battleground, that event airing on the WWE Network and taking place right here in Tampa, Florida. Thanks for the time, appreciate it, and congratulations on the success.
I appreciate it, man. Thank y'all.